All right, thank you, Val. Welcome, everybody, to the City Commission workshop of June 25th, 2024. I'm Chris Villa, and I'm your mayor, and I call this meeting to order. Val, please call the roll.
Commissioner Penny.
Here.
Commissioner Curry.
Here.
Commissioner Danio.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Mayor Diaz.
Here. Thank you all for being here. I'll ask you to please silence your cell phones and the electronic devices that you have at this time. We are here to discuss the Sunrise Playground equipment discussion. So that's the only thing on our agenda here tonight. And with that, Joe, I'll turn it over to you, Joe. Do you want to pull up any of the items here?
Yeah, we'll pull up whatever we need to for you to take a look at and discuss. Steve's got a little opening presentation, and then we'll go through. I guess really what's important is that we take a look at the structures, and then Steve will kind of give you a little bit of background on it, cost, warranty, maybe he's got an idea what he's going to talk about. And then at the end, we'll have a discussion on which one the commission would like to pursue, and perfect. Go from there.
All right, and then we have this item tonight in our regular City Commission meeting.
Correct.
So, Steve, I'll hand the floor over to you.
Okay. Well, we put this out. What we asked for is safety servicing. Themed playgrounds were encouraged. Things that engage the imagination, nautical, regal, that sort of thing. We asked that it's ADA compliant. We asked for a ramp, but only if it's raised. Obviously, if it's not raised, it doesn't need a ramp. We had a fixed budget of $350,000, so although we have a cost that everybody submitted, we gave them the cost of the project at $350,000. So that was kind of the assumption. Everybody came in under that, obviously, some by greater or lesser degrees. We wanted materials. We wanted very much that they pay attention to the materials, since it's going right on the river, that they're using stainless, that they're using galvanized steel, stainless steel, that sort of thing that's not going to be given to rust. The swings that are down there we're going to keep on site, but they're going to do the port-in-place safety surfacing underneath. And as far as shade structures, we didn't tell them whether or not they could incorporate it. They didn't have to. Some of them did have an alternate. That's beyond the $350,000 that if we wanted to add shades, we could. In the package that you have, I put together just kind of a brief overview, and all I was really looking to do is as much of an apples to apples as I could on warranty and materials. I didn't list out all of the materials. Obviously, there's plastics and stuff like that. I really kind of looked at the items that were metal. And warranties, again, I did apples to apples. So I think probably the best idea is to go through the designs.
The first one is listing recreational option number 1. Thank you.
Okay, Advanced Recreational Concepts Option 1. The cost on this one was $310,409.
Did you tell them what the budget amount was?
Yeah, the budget was $350. Again, we could go up to that $350, and that was approved. But they came in at $310,409, and that includes the installation.
So this is option B, right?
Option 1.
This is option 1.
Exhibit B.
Exhibit B, option 1.
That might be where you're getting.
Okay. It says different in our packet later on. So this is option B, the $310,000. The option A is $318, right?
Yeah, right. You got it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay. The materials are, every group had decent materials. They use stainless steel. Their steel and die-cast components are powder coated. The steel decks, they put vinyl on. That's slip resistant, and it'll protect it to a degree. There is the steel decks. There's a 15-year warranty on it. So that was the one area I was a little bit more concerned about. But they do have a 15-year warranty.
So there are 10 options, and there are some that just don't meet standards. First off, the Go Outdoor amenities, that one is like a backyard thing. I don't even think we need to open that one up unless any commissioner wants to. There was Bliss was last on my list. Dominica was second to last, and then Miller. If you want to quickly open those, and if any commissioner really loves it, we can talk about it, but I'd like to almost just get rid of those right away, just for time's sake. So, Blair, Val, can you pull up which
so
one?
this is Miller here.
Okay, this is Miller.
There's 9 pictures.
So this one just doesn't have a lot of play features. It's a nice design visually, but
Which one was this, man?
this one is
This is Miller.
Miller.
Okay.
Miller Recreation at $349,000.
There was an issue with the submittal too. Their submittal, they proposed swings, which is fine, but we already have swings that we're proposing to keep on site.
Oh, interesting. It's hard to tell from their pictures, but if you really look into it, there's not a lot of play space compared to really what there was. So for me, I'd exit that one out. Could you open up Bliss or Dominica next, Val? Sorry if I'm throwing you off,
No, you're
Steve
fine.
and Val, but I think time-wise this would be easy.
Bliss first?
Yeah, Bliss.
Bliss.
So this one was my second to least favorite out of the 10. It's nice. It's a ship, but it is there's not much to it. It's just really flat, and there's a couple slides. And this one is without the shade system because the playground alone is $330,000, and then the shade system is $80,000. So that would put us at $40,000. So I'm Xing that one out. If any commissioner disagrees with me, feel free to speak up, but I'm crossing through that one. Now if you could open up Dominica.
Dominica's game time.
Game time? Okay.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So this was my third to last favorite one. Based on kind of the same things I said earlier, other than this one tower there, everything else is very, very low, and there's really nothing to do on it for the kids. This kind of caters to a much younger audience. The pour is really nice. It's very intricate, but
Mayor, did you get some coaching from the professionals at the house, or what?
I did.
Okay,
I did.
I was wondering. I'm wondering why they're not sitting up here.
Thoroughly. I was thinking of bringing them. I really was. They had a lot of opinions. So I weighed those very heavily. So I was good with crossing that one out as well. And then my next one down the line was the first one we saw by Advanced. I had it written down as option 1, so I guess I was...
This says option 1. You got it.
Well, yeah.
Oh, option 1,
Option 1.
but Exhibit B. Okay.
So do you want to see Exhibit C of Advanced now?
Actually, can you go to top line next? Because that's my number 4 on my list. I'm working my way to the best one, by the way, guys. So this was top line. This was my 4th favorite. It kind of has a ship, but the ship is really geared towards really little kids. Then they do have that one tower with a neat spiral slide, which is really, with 2 of them really, which is pretty neat. But the ship really, honestly, I showed my committee of kids and they didn't care for it.
It says aquatic tropical. It didn't even say anything about ship. It doesn't have much on the description on this one.
Yeah. So then I went to the next advanced one, which option 2, probably attachment C. So now my top 3, they're pretty unique. They're pretty good.
But which one is
This one is advanced.
Option 2.
Option 2.
Okay, yeah.
Which was $319,000. So this one is a little bit bigger than all the other ones that we've gone through so far. There's kind of more to do for the kids. It's got a tropical theme, like as if you're on an island, so there's no boat or anything, but it's a nice little tropical theme. Those are already existing swings. So that one's pretty neat.
Now the swings that are there are the ones that are ours, or you're saying
Yeah,
they're
those are
existing?
Yep, those are existing. Yep.
Okay.
Are they going to paint them?
Obviously they match in here.
Yeah.
I didn't read anything about them
Okay.
painting it.
I just didn't know, because in every proposal they're different colors. Yeah. And then if you want to go, my number 2 was Playworks. Actually, this one and Playworks were a tie for me. I liked both of them really as number 2.
Playworks worked that budget.
$349,950.
You think?
To the T.
Came in.
So this one was very similar to their first one that they proposed to us, but they put palm trees in there and possibly added in the musical things and that little ship. So that ship it's very little, but you would get on it, the kids would rock it back and forth, kind of like that.
The ship is on
Pretty
the right
intricate.
Side, the right side is the ship?
Yeah, it's like a little thing,
I see.
that they wobble. So it's kind of almost sticks with the theme, kind of maybe of an island, I guess. It's pretty neat. And then once you go through those, then Corecat was my number 1.
That's right there too.
My disappointment with Corecat is that, I wanted a bigger ship that we had all looked at. Instead, they gave us a larger tower. And by the way, their presentation is horrible. So you don't get one picture view to be able to see everything. But basically, here's the ship. It's a little smaller than the ship that we saw previously by Corecat. It's the same exact, it's almost the same exact model as the much larger yellow one. If you guys recall in our last workshop that we looked at, that one is 44 feet long. This one is, I believe, 32 feet long, so it's smaller. But this one has monkey bars, and it has a couple different climbing things that the big one actually doesn't have. The other and so I talked to Mr. Forte. This is the same ship model as the large one that we looked at. So I looked at the pricing difference of these two. The big one is $120,000. This one's $60,000. So I looked at the shade structure that is with the small one, which is a little bit over $60,000. I thought, man, we could just tell them we want this, but we want this bigger, and we don't need the shade structure. So we could get the big one. Plus, there's a large tower. Val, if you could scroll up, keep going. And then you're going to probably have to zoom in to show, because there's a layout in the foam that they have where it's water, and then there's like an island, and on that island is a very large tower with a really, really neat slide that comes down for the older kids. Is it not going up anymore? So that's all the way at the bottom. So, all right, go down just a little bit. So show the layout here. So layout, you see the existing swing, so you can kind of see where it's at. Now, in the water section, the blue section, that's where the boat would go. They don't show it here. So you got to piece everything together in your mind. But then you see the little island, and that's a tower, a very tall tower with a cool slide on it. If you keep scrolling, I don't know if it's up or down.
That's it right there. That's the whole layout right there, Mayor.
Yeah, there's the whole layout. So you can kind of see where that goes. So my question is to take away the shade structure, do the larger boat, and then also keep that large tower there. But when I took that to my kids, they actually really liked the small one as well with the shade structure. So I could go either way on it. I like the idea of doing a much bigger one. I think it would make a big statement. But I'm good with this as is now after talking to my experts. Keep scrolling down though, Val. I want to show them what that tower looks like. Right there. Oh, down. Right, all right, at the corner, bottom corner.
Oh, yeah.
It's all they show of it. If you go on their website, you can see a bigger picture of it, but it's very tall, and that's supposed to be what they call the lookout tower on the island.
At the YMCA. I just saw something just like this.
Did you?
My granny thought it was going there.
It's pretty interesting. Can you zoom in on it, Val? Are you able to do that? So there's like a climbing apparatus inside that you climb up into it. And then it's a large slide. So that was my favorite, and I'm good with going either way on it of asking them to make that bigger without having the shade structure, or keeping it just as is, because with this way, although it's smaller, we get the extra monkey bars and climbing things, and we get the shade structure as well, which is nice during summertime when it's very hot. So
I think the smaller one has more activities on it. It looks like there's more things to do. Even though it's smaller, there's more options.
And that's what my kids said too, because I was pretty upset about when I showed it to them. Though they were like, "Oh, that's awesome, really cool."
Well, I don't have my experts here anymore. They moved away on me.
Yeah. So
I'm good with either one of those ideas. Either leave it as is, or straight out this shade structure for the larger boat. But like you guys are saying, I think there's probably more activities.
Looks like there's like balancing ladders,
yeah,
ladders and stuff to climb on.
Yep. So with that, Steve, in your research through them and all of their materials and everything, I mean, can you give us a rundown of that if their proposal, not talking about design, but their proposal was good anyways?
Yeah.
You guys could come on in. We're just having a workshop.
Again, there wasn't too much difference between most of the companies. After we kind of told them we really need this, the only exception was go outdoors because they were wood, recycled wood. But these guys, their posts and tubing, so their uprights are going to be galvanized steel, which galvanized, that's good. Hardware stainless. Their decks are punch steel, all of them are. And it's got that plastic coating again, so that's good for grip and it's good for rust resistance. Not as good as like an aluminum would be, but that's what they all have. And the punch steel decks have a 15-year warranty. The post caps are aluminum, that's fine. Their warranty is good. They offer the coastal painting, which is also supposed to help with the rust resistance, and they have a 7-year warranty on that, which is actually pretty good. The shortest warranty is going to be your moving parts and stuff like that. That's common with any carrier. If you have moving parts, it's not going to be covered for long, so that's a 1-year warranty. And then materials that aren't listed. What I just gave is kind of a snapshot, but they really get into the weeds and list every little thing. Right. And that's in your agenda packet.
The one kind of critique I had about this was, you see the palm tree on the island? Mm-hmm. Well, it's a small little palm tree, and they call it a shade, and it really does nothing other than it's just a metal palm tree, and it's like $12,000. On their previous submittal to us, they had a similar like beach scene, and they had a climbing wall that was a large thing that was circular, and it was a bubble climbing wall. It was blue, and it was like bubbles that you climb up, and that was about $12,000 as well. I think it might have been $11,000. And so my only question is, are we able to maybe like switch out a palm tree that really doesn't do anything for like a big climbing thing like that?
That is
Since they already
probably,
submitted that.
unfortunately, something that we'd have to speak with legal about. Only this is also grant funded.
Yeah.
So even when I put this out, I couldn't tell them, boy, we want a large shed. Oh, that wouldn't be competitive. So we had to kind of keep it open for everybody. And now that we got them, we might be able to negotiate it. But I would need to get that confirmed through both legal and through the granting agency.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying, Mayor. It does add to the aesthetics having that palm tree there, and I hate to slow it down anymore. We're just going to go to legal. I'd say I'm fine with this Core Cat one, just as submitted and move on.
Okay. So there's no changes midway through that they can make, like a thing here or there, like.
Again, I don't know.
Okay. All right.
That would have to be spoken.
All right.
How about
I'm good with it.
the price? That's rock solid. They can't deviate from the price, right, Steve? I mean, that's a quote. That's a top level quote, right?
The quote that we asked for is $350,000. That was our budget, and we were going by a fixed budget. You give me your best design. So as long as they stay under that $350,000, they're in compliance.
Well, they don't have a whole lot of room there.
Right. They can go down.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, yeah. They're not going to go any more than what we told them we got in our budget.
Right.
Okay.
I think that would be a lot better for the kids over there than what's currently there for sure. And it'd definitely be a big improvement to the park.
Especially to the foam on the ground, the rubber, as opposed to mulch. That really takes it to the next level.
And it's got all the ages. Some of them were too young. Like you got a clownfish and a tang or something, the dory fish, they can rock on for the little kids, and then you have the bigger things. So
it captures the little kids, middle, and then a little bit older.
And then us adults.
Well, not us close to seniors. We won't be out.
maybe we should make the slides out of stainless steel like we used to have over there.
I remember that. It taught you to go really fast though, and not climb back up it. Maybe that was why they designed it that way. So what I'm hearing is that we all like the Core Cat version and as is. Are there any objections to that?
No.
Well, that was faster than I thought so. So, all right. Well, yeah, I appreciate you, Steve, going through this and especially having to go back to the drawing board after the first time, because first ones were good, but now I think this is great. I think this takes this park to a whole nother level, and thank you for getting us the grant opportunity to be able to do a lot of special things at Sunrise. What's that?
You need to call home and okay it with the crew, or?
Oh yeah, I'll tell them later. They'll be very excited. So how long does this take, you think, from start to finish? I'll probably be out of office by then.
7 years.
Yeah,
your kids will be in high school. It's not going to matter.
The only thing I have to check on is lead time, because there's been lead time problems everywhere. I think once, if they have the materials there, or if it's, they can get it quickly, then the actual putting it in will be over the course of a couple of weeks.
Okay.
I would guess I required 180 days. Some of the companies said 100, but certainly within the 6-month period. I would assume that it'll be quicker than that, honestly. They'll want to get this done.
Okay. 180
all of the
days?
materials are made in America, too, so they're going to be close by.
Okay. Good. 180 days, I might still be mayor.
Yeah, I was saying, that might be our last official act, right? Veterans Day.
Government usually doesn't
Last
work
ribbon
that
cut.
quickly.
Yeah, that's right. But when it's playground.
Well,
All right.
priority.
Are there any further comments about the playground structure from the commission? Any further from you, Steve?
No, sir.
All right. Sorry, I interrupted your spiel there, but I thought we could cut right to it, so I appreciate that. All right, with that, we're done with that. Mr. Forte, would you like to bring up the plaque for the fire stations? We can use that.
Sure. Just give me 1 second.
Yep, take your time. Does Val have it to pull it up?
No.
Okay. All right, just pass it out. That's fine.
I'm going to give you, this is just talking about the fire station emblem. I'm going to give you 2 examples. You might have this on the previous agenda when we talked about it. You can go back to that agenda. I actually it was sold.
Joe, I got 2 the same. I don't.
They're close, but not exactly the same.
Thank you.
Oh, I got you.
No, okay. I think it just gave me the same thing. No,
Looks like it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I thought you had the other thing that was coming. I got you.
I was expecting the picture thing.
No, I didn't make copies of the picture. Al can possibly pull that up.
Right. I got you.
I figured while we had a few minutes in the work session, we can just kind of talk about this. But if we can just look at the design, there you go. There you go. So on the screen, if you can blow that up a little bit, Val, that's kind of a typical plaque that you'll see on a fire station dedication. The difference here is it's got a fire emblem at the top as opposed to the city seal, and then it's got the different things in there. So I gave you 2 options, and it's kind of trying to get a little bit more bragging rights, I guess, a little bit. So it all starts out with the fire department emblem, recognizing that it's Holly Hill Station 96, and that the city dedicates the facility to the citizens and businesses of our community. And then it's got the date, and then the city commission. And I thought it would be appropriate, and again, you got to correct me if I'm wrong, to recognize the state legislators who were instrumental in providing us appropriation funding for the construction of the station. I thought that would be a nice touch. There's also, then underneath it on the one that you see that I have a little scratch out on, that shows the city manager, the fire chief, the engineer, the architect, the project manager, and then again, I'm not sure if Doug Bell as the lobbyist would be appropriate to put on there. Val, what you're going to show there is not right, just that. The other option that I sent you has everything the same, but it's different under the city staff. Under city staff, I recognize the city manager, the planner, the fire chief, the building official, the fire marshal, the project manager, and the lobbyist. And I thought if we're going to do a plaque like this, do you want to expand it to that degree and see if we want to make it a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit nicer. So I throw these out for your consideration, and if we can come to a conclusion on this, option 1 or option 2, maybe we can go ahead and get that at least designed minus the date, and then when we know that we're getting close, we can at least then insert a date.
We just have to do spell check on some of your words here, though.
Of course we do.
Good question.
And then the center, it's not aligned either, right, Joe? The alignment's not.
It's not a design. It's just
Right.
What'd you say?
You got to put spell check on it.
Yeah, well, I like that Doug Bell is now our loggiest. I'll have to start calling him loggiest. Loggist.
Which one is that?
On the right.
It says Doug Bell
No,
loggiest.
on the left, well, it depends how you're looking at it, yeah.
But I don't think that we should put Doug Bell on there,
Loggiest.
although he did help us to get the grant
like I
from
said,
the state. I think it is appropriate to involve the people involved. I'm kind of liking the one where it says city staff enlisted out, but I could go with either of them.
Which one is this, the one that says city staff?
The one that's scratched, let's call the one that's got the scratch out and the one that doesn't.
Okay.
The one that doesn't have the city staff is what we're talking about, right?
The one that does, is that one? Are you referring to that as...
Whichever one you want to call. The one with the expanded city staff or the one with the short city staff?
City staff in the middle, minus the lobbyist.
Yeah.
So it's actually 3 on one side, 3 on the other, everything lines up.
Right. But I could go with either.
I like that one. Whatever we're going to call it, 1 or 2.
More comprehensive or less comprehensive? One has a lot more detail than the other.
Yeah.
The one with, if we left Doug Bell out, which I agree with that, would be 3 on either side for city staff. Let's call that 2.
Okay.
Is that okay, man?
You're calling this one too?
The one is the one with the line out. Number one.
The
is
one
got
that
the
says
line out.
city staff. The one that says city staff in the middle is 2.
Right.
Okay.
So if you cross out the
So my
Logias-
thought is
you cross out the Logias, everything lines up symmetrical on that side.
Yeah, I think that is
Well,
a better
almost, except
design.
for unless you put the representatives side by side, like 3 in a row, instead of 2 on one side, 1 on the other, or you have them because they're representatives and one's the senator.
It doesn't necessarily have to be balanced. If you
Yeah.
look at the one on the screen, it's not balanced.
It's not
either.
balanced, yeah.
yeah.
Take Doug Bell off and go for number 2.
Yeah, I like number 2.
Any objection to that? All right, number 2, but take Doug Bell off.
So the one that says city staff.
Yeah, the one that says city staff. We're not leaving anybody out.
Steve has kind of a good point. Do we want to include, we recognize the legislators, but should we also recognize the State Fire Marshal's office, which is where the funds actually came from? And if you do, I could add that on there somehow. If not, then we can just leave it the way it is.
Well, I'm wondering if it's required. It's not a grant, it's an appropriation, but...
I don't think it's not required. Yeah.
I think because it came as an appropriation, I think the people responsible are those legislators, and then it's more like a budget that is coming out of. I could be wrong, but that's my
They
understanding.
made us put up a temporary sign for the funding.
Oh, really?
It's on site, yeah.
Huh. Well, you can find more information about that, Joe, but you see what we like here, and I think that works out. So, welcome. Y'all can come in. We're just having a workshop prior to the meeting. All right. So, you good with that, Joe?
Yes.
All right. So we have our direction there. Is there anything else we need to, or we can talk about prior to the meeting?
I don't have anything else, Mayor.
Okay. Does any member of the commission have any city business that they want to bring up to speak during this workshop? All right. So, therefore, we are 20 minutes until our regular city commission meeting, and so we will adjourn this workshop if there's no further city business before us. Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned. And for everyone